What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back again with a new video. And today, it's official, folks. We're back on Prediction Week. And not just any Prediction Week, the second to last Prediction Week this cycle. That's right, folks. This is it. We are in the month of October, just 1 month away from election night 2022. A lot of things could happen from here on out because it's October. We usually get a bunch of October surprises, scandals, new polling, etc. And I may make another prediction later this month, like halfway through, because a lot of stuff could happen, but for sure, there is going to be at least one more prediction after this video. And this is where the predictions really start to finalize, because beforehand it was kind of speculation of like who was going to do well and all of that. Now we're kind of in a phase where, yeah, the predictions are going to have a bit more weight to them because, well, yeah, we are in the final stretch. Now, before I forget, of course, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash a like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, and yes, of course, go follow that mysterious Twitter account in the description down below. And yes, also join the channel. That's right, folks, for just 10 cents a day, you can join Real American Politics. It's a phenomenal deal. For just 10 cents a day, you get a good feeling in your heart knowing, hey, I'm helping Real American Politics continue the daily content. We all love the daily content. So I hope you join today. Alright, folks, it is time that we begin the October edition of Prediction Week. This time we'll be focusing on the Senate prediction. Tomorrow probably the governorships, the day after will be the House elections. And there's been some significant movement in the Senate races, and there's starting to become a more clear picture of the most competitive seats. So let's get into it. The safe states. These states, no matter what you do, you stab somebody in the middle of in the middle of a freaking road, and these voters would still vote the way they're gonna vote. So let's start again. Politically, not literally. Well, you get the point. These are the states that no matter what you do, they're gonna vote their way. So, of course, Alaska's safe Republican. It's a matter of who. And I'm starting to get a good feeling that Murkowski may lose. We're starting to get some more polling data that Murkowski is starting to stumble a little bit. So, hopefully we get rid of her. But either way, it's going to be Republican. Whether it's a good or bad Republican, we just got to see. So, yeah, all of these states, of course, safe Republican. I don't think I really got to say much. Florida, I'm just putting it safe because, well, Demings is going to get crushed. And these polls are coming out showing, Demings within the margin of error. You're nuts. You're crazy. You're stupid. If you truly think that race is going to be anywhere close to a margin of error victory for Rubio, it's going to be more like a 9, 10, 11-point victory at the bare minimum for Rubio. He's going to probably win Miami-Dade at this point. I mean, people that really think that Rubio's not going to win by a large amount, they're delusional. We have data to back up the fact that Rubio is going to win handily. So safe Republican in Florida. Now for the Democrats, I don't think I can really say much. These are kind of just repetitive at this point. We all know the safe Democrat seats. There's really no arguments here. And yes. Alright. So these are the 10 states that will be within 10 percentage points. There's a chance a couple of them are outside of it, but personally I think these 10 states will be within 10 points. So let's get to it, folks. Let's start West Coast to East Coast, alright? We're going back to the tradition west to east. So let's start in I would say, the most debated state this cycle, Washington. Now, from the polling we have, the actual polls, not frickin', some Democrat internal that always oversamples Democrats by 15 points, like Trafalgar, like an actual pollster like Trafalgar. They have the race within the margin of error. Now, the question is is Trafalgar accurate here? That's kind of the main thing. Are they going to be right? Now, I don't think Smiley's going to win as of now, but I still do think he'll be within 10 points, like a 6-point loss for Smiley, which, hey, I'll take it, all right? Considering this is Washington, a state that voted Biden plus like 20, it would be a big improvement if Murray only won by 6 points. But that's where I think we're trending towards, a 6-7 point victory for Smiley now. If Trafalgar has, Smiley leading their next poll, I may have to change that. But Washington is likely Democrat. Nevada, now, again, Nevada is one of those unique cases where the polling tends to oversample Republicans. It's not like the Midwest where Republicans get undersampled. Nevada's one of the only states that they truly do get oversampled. And you can make the argument because they oversample the white vote, etc. And I do think they may oversample Republicans compared to most states. But I still think that Laxalt's on pace to win fairly easily by like a 3-4 point victory. I mean, even Democrat-leaning pollsters are starting to admit, yeah, Laxalt's more than likely going to win. And with it being a more Republican year, again, it is a Republican environment. It's a matter of how big, but it is a Republican environment, which means to be a more white working class electorate, which is a good sign for Laxalt. And that's always been the problem with Nevada. They tend to oversample white working class voters usually. That's usually what happens. They think they're going to vote way too much and like Hispanics are going to vote too little. But I do think with the Hispanic shift, it's going to kind of balance out. So Laxalt, I do think, will win by a 3 to 4 point margin. Again, my hot take is I think Clark County, that's where Las Vegas is, may flip. I think it's going to be incredibly tight for both the Senate race and the governorship. That's my hot take of the video. Take it what you will, but that's my opinion about Nevada. Arizona, Masters is surging. Even without McConnell's being a clown about this entire situation, but even then, he's picking up steam in the polls. And I don't necessarily look at margins. I always like to look at what the incumbent's at for a race like Arizona. What you have is a essentially what was a no-named candidate in Blake Masters a couple months ago, going against an incumbent Democrat, all right, a senator. Usually, if he's above 50%, he's more than likely going to win. But if he's below 50%, that may be troublesome. And here's the thing, though. He's not even at 49%, not even 48%. A lot of polls have him 46, 47%. That means a lot of those undecideds, they're not going to vote for him. I mean, it's just a fact. It's a state like Arizona that's tend to be the case where the incumbent, usually what they're polling at, that's kind of what they're going to be at. Arizona's one of those states that it's kind of like that. It's weird. Now, could there be a chance that they're undersampling Kelly's support by like a point? Yes. But I do think with the polling showing Masters has the momentum, I still think he's going to win by a half to maybe a point. I mean, again, Mark Kelly's not polling that high. He's polling significantly lower than he did even in 2020. All right? And he was against an incumbent senator then. He's the incumbent. And he's not even cracking what he did in 2020. And 2020, he was vastly oversampled. That's not a good combination. So, Arizona is likely, or tilt Republican, potentially lean. I just want to see some more data to see which way is it trending. Also, party registration is indicating Blake Masters will win. And just a matter of what. Now we have Colorado. I don't think I gotta say much. It's gonna be within 10 points. O'Dea, he is making Democrats waste money in Colorado. That's about the only good thing he's done. Outside of that, he's not a good candidate. He's not a good Republican. The only thing he did was make Democrats waste money because he spent a lot of money on that race. So I do think Colorado will be within 10 points. I don't think it'll be within 5. Like maybe a 9-point loss for O'Dea, maybe 7. I just can't see within 5. Is it possible? Yes, but I just don't see it. Colorado is likely Democrat. Wisconsin, do I gotta say much? Even the polling, which Ron Johnson has always overdone his polling margin. He's down by 3 points in the poll, bam, he wins by 3. That's kind of Ron Johnson in a nutshell. If he's down by 3 to 4 points, imagine a 6-point swing, all right? That means he would win by 2 points or so. Now the polling which has always understated his support by 6-7 points at times, is showing he's winning by a couple points. And Barnes' campaign has just collapsed beyond belief. I mean, a lot of that Twitter stuff, yeah, I mean, I know Twitter's not real life, but when you say a lot of that stuff about, white people and in a state that's 90% white, it's like, give me a break. Plus, Ron Johnson's running a phenomenal campaign, possibly the best in the entire country. That's my opinion. I think he's running a phenomenal campaign up here. He's focusing on the issues that matter to the voters. Crime and the economy. That's the only thing that voters really care about, of course, education. But crime, I mean, Wisconsin, you remember what happened to Waukesha? We're not forgetting that for a while, folks. So Wisconsin, in my opinion, is likely Republican. He may win by 9 points. I mean, the fact that he's doing this good in the polling now, that makes me believe he's going to win by quite a bit. So likely Republican in Wisconsin. Ohio, same deal. Even the polling starting to admit that Vance is going to win. Now, Tim Ryan is a strong-ish candidate. He is running the best possible campaign a Democrat could, but he's not going to win. He's not going to get within 5 points. Maybe he gets within 8. Maybe, because he is from Youngstown, and he could possibly do good in that part of the state, northeastern Ohio. That's where the Obama-Trump vote is just heavy in. So maybe he does good there, but I think it balances out with the fact that Vance is going to do great in the Cincy area because, well, he's from the Cincinnati area. So Ohio is likely Republican. Georgia, even the polling, again, North Carolina has not been polled correctly for years. Every single time since 2012, the Republican support has been understated. Yet Ted Budd is winning 2 to 3, possibly 4 points. You count for past errors, it's more like a 7-8 point victory. Now, I think he wins by 5 to 6, which would still be a significant victory in a state like North Carolina, and kind of prove that it's not really trending Democrat, like some people online really believe. I mean, it's not trending Democrat. Has it voted Democrat? Yes, it voted Democrat in 2008. Ever since then, it's been getting actually more Republican. So North Carolina, likely Republican. Georgia, lean Republican. I truly think Democrats have just given up on Georgia. I truly believe it. I mean, they're basically just they're kind of just stop giving that clown down their money, Warlock. It's just one of those things where they spent so much money on Herschel Walker's an extremist on abortion. And they've spent every dime of Warlock's campaign on that. And, well, he's still losing by a couple points. Now Walker's starting to spend more in ads. I think the race at this point is a matter of how big he wins. Whether it's by 2 to 3 points, potentially 4 to 5 points. I think it's going to be in the middle, like a 3-4 point victory for Walker. And he is going to be the next senator of Georgia. It's just a matter of how big of a victory he ends up getting. Pennsylvania. Things have definitely changed in Pennsylvania. My opinion has definitely shifted. A month ago, I said Mastriano was going to overperform Oz. Now, it's kind of the polar opposite. I think Oz is going to overperform Mastriano by a couple points or so. And Fetterman's campaign just imploded the past couple months. Oz has been running a basically perfect campaign since the primary, focusing on the issues that matter and hammering Fetterman for some of his unique comments and some of his cringe takes, like fitter woman or whatever he did. So I do think, end of the day, Oz is going to win, plus the polling, which, remember, Toomey was down by 7-8 points in a lot of these polls. 6, 7, 8 points. He ended up winning by 2. The same polls only have Oz down by like 2 to 3 points. I think with that in mind, I think he wins by 2 to 3 points at this point, an even wider margin than Toomey. I'm fairly confident in it. I think Democrats also, they're kind of banking on the governorship that Shapiro somehow pulls it off. Like, that maybe could carry Fetterman. But I think it's a bit too late. Oz has basically united the base. He's doing phenomenal in the Philly suburbs. It's just a matter of how much he wins by. And I think he wins by like a 2, maybe 3 point victory, end of the day. Now we have New Hampshire. I do think it's going to be closer than people expect, but it's going to be lean Democrat. It's going to be a 1-2 point victory for Hassan. She's not popular. Let's get that right off the bat. She's not a popular incumbent. I just think the primary was a bit too late. It was a too contested primary for the Republican side where Bolduc has to recover from that. It was a nasty primary. He has to get the rest of the base behind him. It's kind of one of those situations where, can he do it? Maybe. If he can pull it off, if he can somehow get the base united behind him, like by next week, he may have a shot at this. I just think the primaries in New Hampshire are way too late. So yeah, I just think as of now, Hassan's going to win by like a 1-2 point margin. And that, folks, is my official October Senate prediction. 53 Senate seats for the Republicans, potentially 54. We just got to see what happens in New Hampshire. And you could make the argument for Arizona, maybe Pennsylvania. But even then, folks, I'm fairly confident Republicans are going to get a majority. It's just a matter of if they get 52, 53, or 54 seats. We just got to see. Anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, of course, go follow the mysterious Twitter account in the description down below. And yes, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.